Middle child responsibilities is probably the biggest scope I've ever invented for myself. For some background, I am the middle child in a sibling. But before we were four, we were only three. And in us three, I was in, well, the middle. And I didn't really get a lot of stuff. My brother was the eldest, so he gets top priority. Everybody gave him a lot of gifts because he was the eldest in not just our family, but our extended family. My sister was pampered, so anything she wants, she gets immediately. Meanwhile, I was mostly relegated to hand me downs, and when I was young, I didn't necessarily care about hand me downs. All that really mattered to me was that I had gifts. And it's thanks to this small but impactful, moment in my life, I realized at an early age that since I was the middle child, I don't necessarily get a lot of stuff. And I've come to terms with that. It didn't bother me, but at the same time, it really did affect my life and kind of turned it into a much let's say lazier life. I was too content. Since I was easily satisfied with everything, I was satisfied with anything. And I was content with anything that was given to me. I was content with my life. I learned the value to just appreciate everything and be thankful that I was given anything. And I never realized that that contentment would sooner be my basically downfall, my entire poisonous and toxic idea that permeated my mind. See, the thing is, when I had that idea and mindset, it translated to my ambitions and aspirations where I never really bothered thinking about my future. The only thing I thought about was living in the moment, living in the present, and just enjoying and participating and loving life, being thankful every day, being grateful. And I never knew, or at least when I was young, it never really occurred to me that I should start, thinking of higher ambitions, higher aspects of my life that I should be, rather than just a schoolboy who plays computer games all day. And is this mindset of mine just kept going on up until I reached senior high, where I was put into a school that I didn't really know about and a course that I didn't care about. I was a STEM student, but I never really wanted to become an engineer, even though now that was the one thing that's been basically labeled onto me, the something that I should be. And I realized too late that if I never really pick anything for myself, everyone else would, since yeah, I didn't necessarily had a choice because I didn't pick a choice. And that satisfied idea that I've had kept going on until finally I'm an adult and I'm just lost. I'm tired and bored and I still don't know what to do and where to go, and it really did affect me since I'm the second oldest in our overall extended family. I'm also a bum, someone who just lays around in the house and not going to school, not finding a job. And it made me insecure. It made me felt like I was pathetic and worthless and useless. I don't know, it was really hard for a small period of time in my life where I was so lost that I just didn't know where to go, and it really bummed me out. I didn't just want to swallow in self pity, so I invented this thing called middle child responsibilities, where being the middle child, since I'm the oldest brother but also not the eldest, I have to sacrifice most of what I can just so I could give what little I have. It's not a lot, and it's mostly just me coping that I have purpose or I have meaning, but that's how I got the idea from. It stemmed from a lack of purpose and insecurity. And it's kind of depressing, but at the same time it really did improve upon I really did improve upon myself. So instead of just lying around in bed and watching YouTube videos, wasting my life, I learned how to cook. I cleaned the house. I would lift heavy objects others can't lift. I basically became the workhorse around the house just so that my family members won't be bothered or won't have a hard time doing most of the stuff that they need to do, like jobs and going to school. And it's not just my family, I would also help my extended family. For a while, it really did made me happy. It made me felt like I was doing something meaningful, and it felt like I was doing something worthwhile. But there was still one thing that was a problem. It's it's the fact that I haven't done anything yet. I was helping around the house, sure, but I still needed to find a job. I still needed to find a way for self sustenance. I need a way to just earn money or basically make a living. I couldn't just stay in the house forever. And most of the time, that was pointed out by my family, often asking me, "Is this really it? Is this all you're gonna do? Just help around, wash clothes, or take money from whoever gives you charity?" And it was a sad awakening that as much as I really did felt like I was doing something meaningful, it was still nothing in the grander scheme. It felt like I was just stalling or, well, as I've said, coping. And a lot of my family would point that out, mostly disappointed by the fact that I'm not doing anything meaningful, that I'm just this bum. And it led me to a spiral of depression. And most of the progress that I've made, such as being active, being healthy, was much or less just a way for me to tell myself that I'm doing something meaningful. It really wasn't, and I get that now because I wasn't progressing in life. Sure, I was helping myself, but at the same time, I was also going nowhere. The middle child responsibility dream that I've always fantasized and thought that I could be was just nothing. And it kind of just ruined my mood for days, weeks, and months. And I never realized this until now, but I fell into a spiral of depression. I tried to, well, fill those, void with food. I ate more. I drank soft drinks a lot more than I should have. It gotten to the point where people were starting to worry about me since I lost that physique I had some years ago. And in the end, all those progress kind of just went moot since I was I I don't know. I just really didn't felt like doing anything anymore. I kind of just thought I wasted my life, and it was just that, such a waste. I don't want to end this in a depressing note, so I'll tell you some of the things that kind of just stayed permanently for me. The fact that I valued being a big brother has taken a huge part of my life, since now I do my best to take care of people younger than me, not just my family, but friends and even strangers, because the idea of a big brother is something that I truly do value. As much as I could say I learned nothing or gained nothing from this experience, something really did stuck with me, which is confidence through obligation. Considering that most of the time that I'm out doing chores or was tasked to do something and it involves talking to strangers, asking questions. Most of my younger siblings would often have a hard time trying to speak or tell anything, even if it's something that they really, really need. So I had to step up, and as much as I am shy and bashful, they gave me the confidence to ask questions, to confront others, to basically face my fears. And this facing fears also did result in a really weird way of being fearless. The last thing I wanted to tell is something that happened recently. See, I'm sleeping in the couch lately since my grandpa is sleeping on my bed and I have to give way so that he could sleep comfortably, and I'm okay with just sleeping in the couch. But since there's our TV in our living room, I would often just watch late night horror just so I could scare myself. Until one day I actually was afraid of something. So I invented a way to cope with it, and I told my sister that I had a way to face my fears. And she was shocked and surprised, asking that I'm still afraid, as if it was something that she didn't expect from me. And it was thanks to that I realized that I should be more fearless. And despite me cowering in fear in the darkness, I had that boost of confidence from that one little comment, because I think that it's my obligation to just be fearless for them. So, where do I go from here? Where does my path lead? Well, it's thanks to those around me that I realized that I should be planning stuff ahead more. I know it's a bit late, but I already thought of a way to just live a better life rather than just stuck at house disappointing everybody. So as much as I want to feel sad, I don't really have the time to feel sad.